What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You were listening. You were watching the Complex Sneakers podcast. We are back in the studio. And as always, I am with my guys. First to my right, Mr. Matt Welty.
It's a big day.
Big day. Big guest. To my left, I see him smiling. That's how excited he is. Mr. Brendan Dunne.
We're back in New York. We're back from ComplexCon. We're back together. We have
great.
No cards to crack open today.
Thank God. Because it went a little shaky. It went a little shaky. Wait, hold on.
Did you keep your cards?
Where's my Nate Diaz cards? Who has them?
I inherited y'all's cards.
You must have left them on the...
Dave Matthews has them.
No, I have your cards. I have your
do?
cards that we open. We open packs of cards
Is
live
that why
at
I saw two
ComplexCon.
Nate Diaz on StockX yesterday?
I might sell mine back on eBay just to keep it all in the family.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Put them on eBay. That's right.
Yes.
So, how we feeling? I was in Cali. I stayed a little longer than you guys. Happy to be back in New York. You guys have a busy week this week.
Evergreen comment.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. I know. I feel like Welty is going to be busier than ever too.
Why's that?
Don't you have some new responsibilities
Yes.
and roles in your life?
Yes, we were holding
this.
this.
Don't you have like a new title?
Where does this rank?
You're still very much at Complex. Complex
Yes.
is your day to day.
Yeah.
That's your 9 to 5. But you have a new role that you've taken on.
Can we put the
outside
letter
this
in?
company.
Or the text. We'll blur out the name, but we have to put the text. We want to congratulate
This is huge.
our producers, our directors, everyone in the green room. We want to congratulate you on your new job title. Please let people know. Please let people know.
This is huge.
This is big.
Superintendent.
You know, there's some things when you feel like superintendent of his building. There's some things when you feel like someone who you're close to has a win, and you're like, you know what? I feel like I won that day.
You're sharing in that victory.
I feel like I'm the superintendent of my building now.
Yeah.
I got a basement and a backyard now. So
That's incredible.
Wow.
That's a come up.
And
Okay.
you didn't think it was going to happen, right?
I
It
just
was a
wasn't
little
sure.
shaky. You
I wasn't
broke
sure.
the news here on this podcast a couple months back. I think people have been waiting and watching, to see how this journey plays out, because your old super was moving out and they needed somebody to fill those big shoes, and you stepped right into him and laced him up.
What is your first? What is on the
It's
docket
like the first
first?
100 days
Yes.
of the president.
Wait, are you going like? Did you call a building meeting and you're saying, listen, it's a new era.
No, there was just a group text sent out saying Matt's the new superintendent.
Okay,
of the
are you
building.
going to plan events? What are the events going to be?
I don't think there's going to be
block
events.
party?
No, but I'm excited to take a lot of sneakers out of my apartment and put the sneakers in the basement, free up basically a free storage unit.
Total self-serving first. Total self-serving first.
What are you going to do for
mission?
the people of the building? How are you going to serve them in this time?
I mean, sweep the hallway and take the trash out.
Okay. Okay. Congrats, though.
Yeah, thanks. Do have some bigger news.
What could be bigger than that?
Much bigger news.
No. What could
No. Hold on. Let me say it because this is actually important.
Okay.
I'd like to give a huge shout out to my sister Jenna and her husband Dom. They gave birth to a beautiful daughter.
You're an uncle.
Yes, at 1:00 this morning. Emmy.
Wow.
Yeah. So this
Congratulations.
happened recently. So
You
real
are-
big news around the household.
Addition to the family.
My parents are grandparents for the first time.
Wow. Shouts to Mike Welty.
Yeah.
Mike Welty, he gonna have a little different energy in that FSR IG Live this week, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you became an uncle and a super in the same same week?
Yes.
Wow.
It's been a I wouldn't say
Transformative period.
It's been a I wouldn't say busy week. It's been a busy week for all of us,
Yes.
but it's been a monumental week on several different fronts. I just wanted to say, hey, and then and get to go up for Thanksgiving and see I guess my niece for the first
What's
time.
the first pair of shoes for the niece?
Oh God, I don't know,
what?
man.
If you don't mind, so this is something I like to do. I always have a tiny pair of Air Force Ones just on deck, just for whenever somebody has a kid, so that somebody in your life
Really?
has I feel like it's a good thing. Whenever I go to the Nike company store in Beaverton,
Clean
I will
pair,
buy
though,
at
not-
least a brand
the
new
dirty
pair,
ones.
a brand new pair of toddler Air
Okay.
Force Ones in the smallest size possible, just to have, because it's such a nice gift to give to people when they give birth
Yeah.
to a child.
You're
So Welty, I'm happy if you feel like it's appropriate footwear for this child, and we can veto it right here. If
We
not,
can figure it out.
Oh, look, that's so. No,
I
we
have
can
to- I
figure
have
it
to-
out.
I have to
Of
ask.
course. Look
I have
at.
to ask. I
if
have
you
to
want,
ask.
I would be happy to give to your new niece on behalf of the Complex Sneakers Podcast a pair of crispy white Air Force Ones.
That's the correct answer. Thanks so much. It would be an honor to have the Air Force Ones.
No, I mean, look, I don't want to force it on the family.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, listen, I got our guest today's baby pair of 1985 Chicago ones. But
wow.
That's it.
What a flex.
Yeah.
So
that's all I'm saying.
I don't have that to offer, Welty.
But I love that.
Yeah, it's a practice I'm trying to keep up. And then once I get rid of them, I'll just replace them, find a new pair.
Congrats, man.
Thanks.
What a feeling.
What's funny is everyone's saying congrats to me, and in the back of my head, I'm like, I didn't do anything.
No, but you now have a new responsibility in addition to the superintendent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys get anything exciting in the mail? I got a knife in the mail.
I got a knife in the mail too a while back.
I feel like I wanted to bring this up with you, Welty, because you're a big knife guy.
I'm not a big knife guy.
You're a guy with a big knife. You remember that knife he used to have at his desk?
Yo,
Joe?
I want to because people need to chill the hell out because
What boy?
No, because so there was a free table in the office,
Yeah,
right?
always has been.
Yes, and I believe someone maybe who was like First Refeast related or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
No, got like some kitchen cutlery or whatever and just put it on the free table, right? There happened to be a big sort of like carving knife,
Almost
like
a steak knife type of thing, right?
there, and I go, you know what?
Salt Bay type of sword.
Yeah, I get a bunch of boxes in the office. I'm sick and tired of opening boxes with my keys. Why don't I just take this knife that's being given out in the company and just use the knife?
Years ago.
Yeah, and just use the knife to open up the boxes, which I've always done and had it on my desk. And there's some people in the company who had gall to like report to HR that I have like a weapon on my desk.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me, I did not realize.
You did this?
No, I did not do that. I did not realize it had gone this far. It was always a funny meme to me where when Welty would get a sneaker box delivered to him, he would pull out this big knife and open it up. I didn't know that people
there was people who were like,
nervous.
oh, you need to like put this thing in your drawer because it's like intimidating to other people in the office.
So congrats on being an uncle once again.
Okay, well, let me tell you, Burnside Knives, a guy who used to work at Jordan Brand and Nike, he has a new knife company, and these are
I think I saw something on Instagram.
These are a little more clandestine, so you could hide it maybe if you didn't want the whole company to see that you had a knife.
You know what I did get in the mail? Salehi's yurt sneakers.
Have you blown the whistle on him? Blow the whistle.
I did blow the whistle. I had to test it. Also,
Did you blow it before or after wearing them?
I haven't worn them yet, because I just got home. But let me ask you something. It's a hike. He hikes in those.
Yeah.
Could I go on the treadmill with those, Welty?
I mean, you could. I wouldn't do it,
No?
though.
Don't do that. No disrespect to New Balance or Salehi.
Oh, no. I mean, for like fitness, like hike, not treadmill. Like,
why don't you just get a pair of running shoes?
Yeah.
I don't
understand this impulse from you
can
at
just
all.
buy a pair of Hokas. You can buy a pair of Nike Pegasus.
No, because I like that he they work out in it.
But there's a difference between hiking a mountain and like running miles on a treadmill.
That's what I'm asking.
Dude, do you want to run miles in a 574 with a chunky sole?
He walks in it.
Joe.
Okay, that's why I asked.
This is like the guy who goes to the gym with the Air Max 270s on.
Yeah,
well, he's that guy.
Well, that's my blind spot.
He is that guy.
That's my blind spot. But I want to I haven't hiked in them, but I want to use them for
Would you go hiking?
Yes, I would. I went on one hike and I got, me. I got really
You're mad that you don't have service on your cell phone, and
I got really distracted. But
looking for the signal.
He hikes in those. I kind of want to use them for what they were meant to be used for. So I think I'm going to do that.
Complex Sneakers Podcast hiking trip, maybe a team building exercise. We've talked about team building exercises before.
Let's do it.
Welty could bring the knife, just in case.
Could bring your niece.
I don't know what I'm going to bring to that.
I wanted.
My keen sense of direction.
When I said the
my
treadmill,
internal compass will serve us well.
Yeah, I have very terrible sense of direction, so I'm going to need you guys. But I have the whistle, so it's fine.
Yeah, just in case we get
whistle.
lost.
Yeah,
we're too short. You know what else we did get in the mail, Joe? Some of your favorites.
Which I've co-signed.
Yes.
Listen, not to toot my own horn.
Toot your own whistle?
Whistle,
Yep.
exactly. Not to toot my own whistle. I told you guys about this.
Yes.
And everything moves fast in the Soul Collector Slack, but I couldn't co-sign these enough. Peak pandemic inside. I was like, you guys got to get these house shoes. But you did get them.
Yes.
Explain.
How did you open the box? What knife?
You know what? I couldn't find it, and I think...
Burnside Knives, I got you. Sorry, go on.
Anyways, so did an interview the one and only Rob Dyrdek.
Great interview.
Great interview.
Please go
Like a
read
month
that.
ago.
if you
Fascinating guy.
haven't. Yeah.
Yes, very fascinating how much money he's made off of DC, which is absolutely ridiculous. And he's not talked about enough, I feel like, in the whole signature shoe sort of conversation. And we talked a lot about sneakers, and the one thing we didn't talk about in the interview was his new venture, Lusso Slides, which it's him and John Buscemi. So it's 2 OGs who are making...
I think Brock is involved as well.
Okay. And...
Brock Marciano.
Yep. And so they're doing house shoes, like super cloud comfort, slip-on sort of things. And I forgot that Joe had co-signed the brand
Early on.
He was telling us how much he loved them.
Because I always...
What's it called?
Lusso Cloud.
Okay.
I always like the hotel slippers kind of. This is it's like this is
A step above that.
3.0.
Yeah.
Because they have like a big like cushioning in it, and they have like an actual sole on the
Not
shoes.
to take away from Robbie.
Leonardo DiCaprio wore them. You know
but
that?
Good enough for me. Joe, which hotel has the best slippers of all the fancy hotels you stay in?
Oh God. I'd have to think about it.
Please.
I will actually get back to you because
And didn't Adam Caparell see Leonardo DiCaprio at John Buscemi's restaurant?
Uncle Paulie's, yes. Yes. And I think Nick Restivo saw Bieber once. Uncle Paulie's. I'd have to get back to you because, to be totally honest.
One thing about Uncle Paulie's. Justin Bolus has
God.
not approved. Sorry, no, we don't
He
need to give
comes
him
up
any more.
every episode now. Go ahead. You know, Charlie Bolus.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah,
LeBron
yeah.
to go see Charlie Bolus.
Oh, yeah.
Forget
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah, LeBron James, please get in touch with Charlie Bolus to get your vinyl record player fixed. That's not going to make it to where it needs to, right?
I mean, we got Ronnie today, so maybe.
Okay, yeah. We'll send it up the chain of command.
Justin Bolus.
No, we're off that.
Yeah, I mean, enough. You know.
Surely.
Shouts to him, but
No. None.
So were you and Ronnie texting each other last night before the pod, being like, "Oh, this is gonna be so cool. We're gonna talk about all this."
No, we weren't. Ronnie was on Fat Joe's IG Live.
Busy man.
Yes.
I don't know if you were like two giddy like high school friends who like finally get to hang out tomorrow after school.
No,
and
we
like texting each other about it.
No, we don't really talk
I
sneakers.
love this
we
picture
talk
you're
life.
trying to paint.
We talk life. We don't always talk sneakers. Like, oh, we can't wait to talk about the packaging. No, we don't. We'll talk about it here. Speaking of friends, I know I don't want to keep bringing him up.
Who?
I think we're chipping away at the PG nose. I really think we're going to get him.
Getting him on?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? He always complains in my group chat
About what?
Not getting on the thing, and all the other friends are like, "Oh, why don't you put him on?" And I
No,
was
I'm-
like, "Well, why don't you ask him?"
I'm chipping away at it. I think him and I are going to have a,
A sit down?
yeah,
Really?
right to camera. I think I'll take it. You know, like, listen.
Yeah.
I got this one.
Yeah, put it on your back.
I'm
Put
going
the
to
team on
try.
your back.
I'm going to try because the only time we ever met up is when he got me the Busy P Air Force Ones. It's time for a sit down.
Are you going good cop or bad cop?
No, good cop. And I told him, like, I think we're chipping away at it. It's time. I would like for him, maybe like around Christmas, he comes in a Santa hat. We put some, like, you know, and it's like a Christmas special episode with PG. And maybe he brings us the Kith BMW for free.
Hey, man, if he can't, we know somebody who can.
We do know a guy. We do know a guy.
Wait, do you have one, Joe?
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't have a car. I don't have a car.
Do you have a driver's license?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure growing up in Long Island. I guess growing up in Long Island, you usually learn how to drive right now, like people in the city.
Yeah. First car, what was yours?
I never owned a car. I
Okay.
crashed a car, but I never owned a car.
Okay.
You also crashed
Went
a
dark?
a U-Haul?
I didn't crash it when I
Oh,
was.
you crashed it
when
into
I was-
another car.
I didn't crash it into another car when I was driving a U-Haul. Yes, last year I did clip somebody's window, which is not really on me. I mean, I feel like if you're parking around Brooklyn, you got to tuck your window in. So I wouldn't say I crashed. No, Welty, what was your first car? And have you ever crashed a car?
So
My mom did.
My
I know
first
I'm not
car-
wealthy, but sorry.
maroon, almost this color of the sole. Maroon Mazda MX-6 stick
Wow.
shift.
Okay,
I
we'll
do
have to ask
two-door.
Ronnie whether or not that shoe was based on your first car. But go on.
Yeah, crashed it. Got into. I remember like the first one was like 'cause it's snowing in New Hampshire and kind of like stopped at a stoplight and the car kind of swerved a little bit.
That happened at UConn so many times when you like go too fast and it's like snowy. Very scary.
I rear-ended someone at a stop on the way to Foot Locker. I was listening to Major Lazer, a little too into the music, and it was a dead stop. And the person in front of me, like, you know, someone can go and then stop, and like they should have gone.
Yeah. You're playing Papa Roach too loud, and
Papa Roach. So yeah, just it was literally
big Jacoby Shaddix.
It was from 3 feet away at like 2 miles an hour, and just like it was just like a dead stop, just like. And it was 2 elderly people, and they saw getting rear-ended. It's like, yes, of course. I hit them at like 2 miles an hour from 3 feet away.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But they saw it as their chance to like cash in the insurance.
I knew that this wasn't going to be an easy transaction. I knew that they're like, I'm sure that
they're like, oh, my neck, you know, I can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
Yeah. Well, on a lighter note,
should we give away some sneakers?
Let's give away some sneakers.
Okay.
Okay, so Josh from Sonoma, California asks, is there a shoe that you first saw someone wear in a music video and then you had to have it? I like this question. A lot different than the questions that we've been getting. And I have an answer for it.
I kind of have some memories. Before we get to that, though, as we usually do, how you can win a pair of sneakers, because we do give away a free pair of sneakers each week with our friends at eBay. All of them authenticity guaranteed. You can see the tag on there. You go to ebay.complex.com. You submit a question for us to answer on the air. If we pick your question, if we like it, and we do address it, we will send you a free pair of sneakers. Should we show the sneakers right now, or should we get into the question?
Get into the sneakers.
Okay. We are giving away these.
Come on.
Chicago Jordan 1s.
Come on now.
Look at just the lacing.
Look at
it. Just the lacing like
which
that.
Which year is
tells
that from again?
This is 2015. Am I right? I hope I'm right. It's probably 2015 if I were. Welty, you're the one who remembers every year of everything.
Year.
We'll call it 20. Yeah, I was right. 2015 Chicago Jordan 1s, Nike Air on the tongue, nice leather.
This was like one of, because I know they had done the retros in like 2013 or whatever, but then they put the ones on ice for a couple years and then came back with this one, right?
Yeah. So what's our man's name?
Josh.
Josh.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Josh from Sonoma.
But
yes.
It's okay if I got his name wrong because we got the sneakers right. Getting a pair of Chicago Jordan 1s.
Come on. Can't beat those.
Music video moments in terms of shoes. You know what? The one that really sticks out to me, and Joe, you referenced this recently in sneaker shopping, is Pharrell with the See These Ice Creams where they were blurred out. I feel like I have so many memories of MTV blurring out logos and brands and things like that, and that making me wonder what was happening there, why that was happening.
It's crazy though, because I feel like
like
that happened way after the era of that being a thing. Because in my head, seeing logos blurred out are like watching like Naughty by Nature and like Biggie in like the mid 90s where you'd see rap videos and like the Tommy Hilfiger logo be blurred out on the shirt. But that was like 10 years plus before the Pharrell video. So even at that Pharrell era, it's like that wasn't a common practice, at least at that point, so much.
Got you.
See, and the Pharrell one, I really thought he was building hype, and I loved that on Sneaker Shopping. He was like, no, I wasn't. Great moment. Yours?
Pretty embarrassing. I don't know if I meant...
Is it Papa Roach? If it's Papa Roach and you had the called shot, this will be incredible.
I mean, it's close enough.
Limp Bizkit?
Sum
Yes.
41.
Oh, Limp Bizkit!
Yes.
Wait, you wanted the red fitted too?
Well, I think I maybe had told this story. I don't know if I had told this story here on before because we've told so many stories, and then like
so many.
So
I wanted
a lot of different
I wanted
directions.
a colored Yankees fitted. We went on family vacation to Cooperstown, New York. I wanted to buy a colored Yankees fit. I ended up getting a.
That's where the Baseball Hall of Fame
Yep.
is.
Yeah,
Is that right?
and they have all these stores selling fitted hats. So you're going from store to store, looking for a colored Yankees fitted, and I wanted like a baby blue one. And the guy was like, "They don't wear it on the field. We don't sell them in the shop." Like super gatekeeping. Maybe that's where I learned it from.
Which is funny because it's like you were like, you were like, wow, me in 15 years, I'm looking at myself. Me in 15 years with the gatekeeping.
Yeah, and I think at the time, I think it was like the Nookie video.
Okay.
Which, if we're all kidding ourselves, we can laugh about it, but that song was huge. It was like #1 on TRL for how many weeks? But
What an era.
yeah,
Right down the block.
and I think he was wearing the shell toes.
Okay.
In the video with like the backwards, if my memory.
Yeah.
I didn't get the regular shell toes. I got the Superstar 2Gs because this is like 2000. It looks like a shell toe, but with like a curved. It looks like the pro models.
You have a photo of you in these from high school, right?
Yeah.
And the baby blue fitted or no?
No, not the baby blue
Sansa
fitted.
Okay.
But yeah, Fred Durst.
Big influencer.
Big influencer.
Would you interview Fred Durst on Full Size Run?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Would you take Fred Durst sneaker shopping?
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Joe.
He would be great on FSR.
Yeah. Well, we'll put it out there. Fred Durst.
Yeah.
Come on the show.
Okay.
Definitely.
Joe, what are your music video moments that cemented a sneaker in your mind?
You know, kind of like a easy choice for me.
G-Unit?
No. Although, good one, but no. The
Nelly?
Knock You Down video with Kerry Hilson, Kanye West, and Neo. The Yeezy one, black and pink. You saw the Yeezy one all over, kind of like leaks. But he in that video, there's a close up of her wearing heels and him wearing the black and pink Yeezy one, and that is when it like, to me it was to me it was like the best piece of marketing because the shoes look the coolest they looked around the time right before they dropped, I believe.
Do
you remember?
Yeah,
Do you remember the video?
I remember the video.
I 100%
Oh,
remember.
man,
He's
it's a
standing
classic
there,
video.
He's standing
I'm
there
sorry.
and he falls
Yeah.
over while wearing the shoes.
Exactly.
You
I
know
feel
what I
like
thought
that's bad advertising because they don't have the stability that you
No,
do.
You know
no,
what shoe
no.
I thought you were going to bring up, and I don't even remember what exact shoe it was, but I remember the moment, is in the 50 Cent in the club video when he's running on the treadmill.
Yes.
Remember when he's like wearing a tank top and running on the treadmill, and
What shoes?
they zoom in on
The
the shoe, and it's like one of those like Air Max sneakers from like the 2000s.
But also,
Wow, I don't remember that at all.
I know Gary Barnett had like posted it on his blog or whatever, but it's like one of, this isn't exact, but it's like one of those weird like Air Max plus 5.
Sure. Wow. Bringing up the video right now,
Tune
Joe.
Max or whatever.
no, but Stunt 101, which the G-Unit album, Beg for Mercy, recently...
You revisited it?
No, recently celebrated, I forget what
Big
anniversary,
anniversary, yeah.
but Lloyd Banks in the Stunt 101 video goes, I'm fresh off the jet, then I breeze to the beaches, blue Yankee fitted, G-Unit sneakers.
sneakers.
Do you know
Yeah.
that one?
Yeah,
And then he
yeah,
goes like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Love that one too.
Left an impression. Well, those are our music video moments, and these are some sneakers for our man, not Brad, but his name is James.
And coincidentally...
Is that right, James? Josh. Again.
And speaking about music videos, we would like for Josh to do a TikTok with those, just to come full circle. Okay.
Do that for us, like we did this for you. Free sneakers, courtesy of eBay. You see the tag on there, authenticity.
You know it's
guaranteed.
verified.
There you go, Josh. It's Josh, right?
Congrats, Josh. Good
Beautiful.
question.
Josh.
All right. Should we bring in
Our friend, our guest.
our friend, our guest, big guest, fresh off the week where he was crowned Footwear News' 2021 Person of the Year, our friend, my friend, Mr. Ronnie Fieg. Welcome.
Thank you, Joe.
How you
Appreciate
doing?
that. I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me.
Congrats on that award also.
Yeah, that was a big deal, not going to lie. That was a big deal.
Is that the one Vic presented you with?
No, that was a different award.
Okay. See? Okay.
A couple trophies on the mantle.
Yeah, losing track.
I feel like Footwear
Yeah.
News has given you like multiple awards over the years.
Yeah, they have. This is the third. Pretty incredible because actually it's 20 years since I started reading Footwear News. I was speaking with Michael Atmore last night on the phone.
Who's that?
He heads Footwear News.
Okay, because the footwear news people, they're not like celebs like us,
Yeah,
complex.
of
I mean,
course.
they
They're
cover
not
the
as-
sneaker industry, but it's not
Listen,
like
not everyone could be the king, So it's
Jeez.
it's different over there. But
right.
he
It's a trade. It's a trade publication.
It's a trade-off.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. But no, it is a trade publication. It's mostly it's a trade-off too. But it's mostly for the industry. And 20 years ago when I walked in, first day as assistant buyer in the office, I was waiting for David to come in, and there was a Footwear News issue on his table. So I grabbed it and was reading it while I was waiting for him to come in. And he came and he saw me reading, and he goes, "Oh, you got the Bible in your hand." I go, "This is the Bible?" He goes, and he calls his assistant and basically, sign me up to receive Footwear News from that day on.
Awesome, man.
boosted their circulation by.
Did you have to fill out one of those
20%
old like?
No.
I'm
kidding,
you
sorry.
have to fill out one of those old like magazine
Yeah,
cards.
that-
Remember where you'd fill out to get the
Yeah.
Yeah, that
magazine
back in the
subscription?
day, that was the way to do it, right? But it was a good that was a good time, and David really took that magazine seriously because it was, getting to know new brands and new people in the industry, and it was cool. So I was reading up on that for 20 years now. So pretty big deal for me because I always aspired to be on that list because they would do like a top 100 every year. And yeah, I feel like getting that award is a big deal to me. And I was on IG with Fat Joe. I heard Joe speak about this earlier while I was
last
in the
night.
green room.
Yeah.
Last night. And he's actually one of two people that are going to present to me.
Nice.
On the 30th. Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Where are we going, Cipriani?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good guess.
Okay.
Good guess, actually. So yeah.
Weren't you recently at a Knicks game with Fat Joe and Jada?
Yeah.
Whose seats are those when it's the three of you?
The other day.
And who's buying drinks?
We don't have to buy drinks. I sit next to Andy, who's the CEO of MSG. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
We became good friends through the process of working together. And Fat Joe, actually, I brought Jada with me, but Fat Joe was already there. So luckily we got to sit together.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Love that.
The energy was crazy, man. Like
How many can you go to a week? How many will you go to a week if you're in New York? Are you like going now? Like if you can, multiple times a week?
I'd be going every single game if it wasn't, for my baby. Once you have a baby, things change, and I like to be home now, so it's a little different. But I'll go to a game once a week or once every other week.
How serious do you take the footwear choice for sitting courtside at the Knicks game?
Not that seriously.
Really?
Yeah, because to me, it's like I'm going there like I like to sit front row because I really am a fan of the game. Like I really
X's and O's.
Yeah, exactly.
Or is that still apply to basketball, or is that just football?
Taking notes. No, like we get the stats every quarter. Because I sit next to Andy, so like I'm like really reading the stats.
Wow.
And, like,
You're looking at the box score.
Yeah, the plus minus sheets, and it's important to me. You know what I mean? Like the Knicks, I take the Knicks pretty seriously. So
He does that level of analysis for the Nets, kind of.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, are you sitting there? Remember those like they used to sell people like the radios where you could put it in your ear and hear like the broadcast at the same time?
Yeah,
while
they
you're
do
sitting
that in tennis. They still do that a lot at the Open. A lot of people use that because they're not, they're far out, so it's like easier to, I guess, see the game or hear the game that way.
You did take the footwear assignment seriously today, though. We have to talk about this, right?
I
off
did.
Top, what you're wearing right now.
I did take it seriously today, though. Yeah. See, this is a sneaker show, so I figured I'd come correct.
Please
Yes.
tell us about the shoe.
So basically, I made it a priority to revisit the Salmon Toe colorway and blocking every 5 years. So for the 5-year anniversary, we made the Made in Japan threes. We brought it back out with the navy midsole, and we made 300 pairs of those. And then, of course, to open the shop, I should have started that. I should have started with 2011. 2011 when we opened
Salmon Toe Gel Lyte 3.
Yeah, so the Leatherback and the Salmon Toe stood for our opening shoes in 2011.
I remember the dog tags.
Yeah, I mean,
The dog, didn't they come with dog tags?
yeah,
Yes.
they did.
I wore
And the
those
wood
for a
and the wooden
while.
boxes.
Yes. Goodwood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was like a early collaboration.
I
Yeah.
did the Jesus piece. I didn't do the packaging. But
It was a crazy time, man.
yeah. I remember the party too at Avenue.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
250 of those, 300 of the 5-year anniversary, but the Leatherback never got retroed in terms of a colorway or the shoe itself or the three. And the Gel Lyte 5, there's a whole other story there. For the 10-year anniversary, I brought that shoe back out in 2003. I like the shoe a lot, and I felt like looking at the shoe, you could tell that there were inspirations from other shoes. You could tell by looking at the silhouette. Takaoki-san, that's his name. He actually picked up designs that were thrown away, re-looked at some of the pieces that he liked, different parts of different designs, and mashed them together for the upper.
This is for the original Gel Lyte 5 in 1993?
That's right, yeah.
Gotcha.
And then he also designed the midsole, outsole. He designed the tooling himself. So I basically put that all together. And then Mitsui-san, who designed the 3, I was working with him for what we did with the 30 for 30 project last year. That's where we introduced the palette.
Welty's got him on feet right now.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks. Shout out to Colin.
Yeah, Colin, best, by the way.
Yeah.
The best. He's the best, man.
Yeah,
I've
great
been working
guy.
with him for a long time. His passion for the brand is incredible. And working with him, he really understands my love for the brand. And we've been able to do some incredible things. Actually, I was on text with him, and I'll send you guys the text message so you can put it on the screen.
Nice.
But we're talking about the Gel Lyte 5s because if you got the book, we sold 10,000
Yes.
of those books. So
people were screen grabbing the shoes in our Slack. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, the 5.
There's some Easter eggs in there.
Yeah,
And
for sure. So the 5's in there. It closes the book, and the opening page actually is the Salmon Toe 3 to show that's why it's in the 10-year for that purpose. But we're supposed to release these. We were supposed to release these shoes for the actual date of our anniversary, which was September 30th. Supply chain issues really hurt us, so we moved it to Black Friday, which is coming up. Okay, and basically been getting updates on the dates, and the last update that I got was a terrible one, saying that the shoes are now going to be unloaded off the boat on the 21st. Right, so
in the U.S.
So we would have had to miss Black Friday.
Yeah.
So then I hit up Colin, and I was like, Colin, if you let me use this text message, I could give visibility and just be transparent so they can see. So he sent me this text message. Before I sent him that, the text message he sent me had like a picture of where the boat is. Like it's like a drawing. You've seen that. I think. Have you guys seen like what's going on on the West Coast?
You were talking about
like
it.
the ports all backed up, or
Yeah, the ports are all backed up, so it's showing you like this digital map of the port and showing you exactly where the boat is that has the shoes, and there are like so many boats in front of
You got to get a skipper to
it's
go
like
out there.
it's like
Yeah,
looking at
honestly,
it's like looking at where like your Lyft driver is, like waiting to pick you up, and you're like, it's around the corner.
it
Like,
looks
can't you just drive here?
Exactly.
It was it's like when a big free agent is like flying to take meetings and people are tracking the plane, like where's he going to next?
Yeah, it's like the Uber that keeps going around the block.
Yeah.
Around the
Yeah.
block. So that's what's been happening, and I made a deal with Colin. I was like, all right, I'll drop it on Black Friday, but only if you let me use this text. And he was like, all right, you could use it. So I want to be transparent with people just so they can have the proper expectations on when the shoes would arrive if they buy them on Black Friday.
Yeah, I want to talk about that situation a little bit more, but I do want to talk about all of our shoes real quick because Welty is wearing the Gel Lyte 3s.
Yes.
as
Before we do
mentioned.
that, can I heard you guys speaking about music videos, the question of the week.
Yes.
It's definitely Method Man in the Grand Hills
Okay.
for You're All I Need.
Yeah.
You're All I Need remix.
You got a
that
bonus
video.
answer here, so
I love it.
Yeah, I had to come in and say it because that definitely had me hunting for the Grand Hills back then.
Yeah.
Classic shoe.
And I feel like you probably sold some shoes to Method Man over the years.
I did actually. I sold in Wallabies. I sold Wallabies to Olive Wu
Right.
back in the 90s.
Right.
That was incredible. And to be, to have the relationship I have with Raekwon still today is incredible because he loves all types of footwear.
And you're going to get him on
Yeah.
full size run.
They need him on full size run. He'd be great on it.
he was
these two.
great. Like I remember talking to him like a couple times, just like interviews, and like he's talking to you all about like New Balance and Diodora and Saucony and like all like the models.
But let's not
He's-
lose focus of getting him on full size run.
Yeah, of course not. That's why I'm here.
I remember when we were in Mexico and we were chilling and you're like, oh, Raekwon's calling.
Yeah.
And like you talked about some anniversary, but
Yeah. I mean, he and I have a great relationship.
And he's also featured in the book.
He is. He wrote a
some-
poem.
yeah.
A poem for New York. A
Love
few
that.
people wrote some poems that are featured in there. That's really one of my favorite content pieces. Not only that we've done, just in general, because Jim Moore worked on it, and I feel like we got
Eugene Tong.
Yeah, Eugene Tong, of course. I feel like we got the best of a few people in that book, and the way it's rolling out now, you're seeing how we're rolling out some of the guys that we shot: John Turturro, Bobby Cannavale.
Man, we got to talk John.
Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys. I mean,
Yeah,
Knish, man, that's my guy.
Of course,
you know what I'm
of
saying?
course. Sorry, we got to check this off the list.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Talk about your shoes.
Your collaboration, 30 for 30. I believe this is the brick colorway.
Yeah, those are nice, by the way. I like the socks.
You said
Nice.
those are nice. The shoe you designed
Those
that is on his feet.
those look nice. I was gonna say those look nice, but yeah, they are nice too. By the way, yeah.
For me, Alik's Air Force One. I wore the red ones a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the red ones were an 11.5. These are an 11.
Feel better? You're not swimming
Make all
around
the
in them?
difference.
Okay.
They make all the difference.
They want to have size big, Joe. You should know that.
I know. Rookie mistake. makes all the difference. But that's what I'm
I
wearing.
feel like you're not much of an Air Force One high guy. I don't see you in those very
I know,
often.
I feel like
but
you had the T-shoes.
I did have the T-shirts.
That was a Big Joe shoe.
Not the
The T-shirts?
Yeah, for sure.
What, the highs?
no the mids. No, not the highs.
The extra highs?
Not the highs.
The,
No.
the calves busting through the eyes.
yeah. We talked about that.
Gotta take the lace out to get that high end Joe.
But I don't know. I like these, and it's one of the shoes where like I got, and I actually was like making it a point to wear them pretty as close to when I got them. So. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You were excited about those. You texted me about those.
I know. We were texting about this.
Yeah, I got the
love
white
that.
gray ones. Those are good.
Yeah, nice shoe. I just
course.
picked out whatever was handy. So Tom Sachs,
of
my
course.
Those are the no big deals for you?
Of course.
I'm not saying it's not a big deal. It's just an easy shoe to grab in the stacks of boxes that I had access to.
I had lunch with him a couple weeks ago. Very, very, very good dude. First time I ever met him. It was for an NFT.
Yeah, Bobby Hundreds.
Yeah, Bobby was there too.
Yeah, the whole picture you guys
Gary
took
V.
together.
Yeah, Gary V was there. A good friend of mine, my brother Nick Tran, was there. We were all together, and I met Tom for the first time, and man, he's a good dude.
I
Really
love
good
that.
dude.
So Ronnie, we just got to be explicit for people who don't know. This is the Asics Gel Lyte 5 Salmon Toe pair that you're bringing back out, 10th anniversary.
That's right. Yeah. So we're gonna drop it on Black Friday, and together with the Leatherbacks. And actually, you know what? This is a perfect time. I brought over some gifts
Wow.
for you guys. Yeah.
Stop
what do you
it.
think? I'm gonna come here empty-handed.
Look at this.
I'm
This
blushing.
is-
I hope you're capturing me blushing right now.
Wow, look at the box.
This is for you, Joe,
Thank you, brother.
and these are for you. The 10.5.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Oh,
I know you're more of a
wow.
black sneaker dude.
yes.
So
Leatherbacks.
Wow, thank you.
and
We need Dylan and Jake Pulvert to do another SoundCloud rap on the Leatherbacks
You know what else we need
because
to
you
do?
know they did it.
Yeah.
They did it.
You
Nick
need to-
Anico
We
knows.
need to get you to recreate the Cove editorial with the Leatherbacks
that was
on.
fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we had a
that-
good time doing that.
That was great. Phil from Madberry was there.
That's right.
Thank you for this, Ronnie.
Thanks so
of
much,
course,
man.
Of course. Important. It's an important shoe for the history of the company.
Yes.
And we're gonna start
Wow,
rolling
the
it out.
10th logo.
Yeah,
That's
the
dope.
10-year logo on the back. We actually there were capacity issues. We weren't able to make as many as we wanted to, but here we are, and they're gonna drop in a couple weeks.
With the sample tag.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
you-
special. I love that.
You're the only one that got the sample tag. That's
Stop
actually my
it.
personal pair of a 10.5.
Whoa.
No, come on, Ronnie.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I only had one pair each.
We may
in
have to
the
put that-
11s.
I'm not going to listen. I'm not getting into your collection, but we may have to put that in one of the cubicles.
Or
On
he may need to
display,
put them
yeah.
on right now. One or the other, you know. No, I'm kidding.
Ronnie,
Yeah.
funny Salmon Toe story. I don't know if maybe you remember this. I think it was like 2014, 2015. I go to a Diadora preview.
Okay.
And I'm like looking at all the things. I see a shoe, and they did a Salmon Toe Diadora, and I took a picture of it,
You know?
and I posted it on the site, and I get an email from the press person the same day, being like, "Hey, you should probably take that shoe down because you know what? It's not coming out now."
Yeah.
It never came out.
Of course, you're the one. Yeah. We should get Matt Welty to go to the press preview. Comes in, there's bagels and orange juice, and then you destroy the whole product line.
Listen, I respect Diadora. I worked with Diadora on a few projects. You've seen them. I love what they do, and it's sometimes it's people who, are inspired by certain things that, we've seen. We've seen a couple of flagrant fouls over the years, but that was a little too flagrant, so I had to make a call on that one, and
Okay.
and they did the right thing.
All right.
And Matt Welty had a hand in it.
Yeah.
One of many
I would
shoes
love to
he's
just
had
have the
canceled.
audio of that phone call of like,
Yeah, but listen, it happens a lot, and it happens a lot. But the truth is, being in the game for a while, the purpose of collaborative projects, because brands don't make money off the projects.
Yeah.
They use it for the
Like
trickle
promo.
down effect. It's meant to be the most
Energy.
energy. It's meant to be the most pinnacle, and then. A lot of brands take cues from what we do and then use it in some of their inline stuff. And sometimes it's okay because you're seeing the inspiration and it's fine. And sometimes it's a little too exact.
Yeah. Too close for comfort.
Yeah, too close for comfort. Exactly.
Yeah. Ronnie, I want to talk about the port situation. Get back to that real quick.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
real
yeah.
shoe dog stuff, but it's important because it's,
Yeah.
no pun intended, affecting a lot of people right now. But
Yeah.
I've seen friends who own sneaker stores complaining about how impossible it is to get any product on the shelves.
Yeah.
In terms of footwear right now, how hard is it to stock your shelves?
No, it's really it's a really big problem. People aren't speaking about it enough, to be honest. And I think that, with publicly traded companies, they try to, hide the facts. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, come holiday time, December, I think that gift cards, and I've read this somewhere, gift cards will be the number one item in many stores because a lot of retailers just won't have product. So it's very, very difficult to get product right now. Just getting product in any which way, whether you're airing it or boating it, is an issue. Production is an issue. Supply chain is an issue. On the
all the
production
release dates
side
getting
too.
pushed back too from the big brands?
Yeah, they are. They are. But for us specifically, a lot of the product that's in the book won't be coming out this year, and it had to get pushed out to next year, which is fine because our anniversary is going to span from September 30th to September 29th the next year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's our 1 year of celebration. So some stuff got pushed back.
Did those Daytona 990s get pushed back?
That I can't talk about just yet.
It's in the book.
Yeah, no, it is in the book.
And
Those
Images are in
look
the book.
really,
Yeah,
those look really nice.
good. Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I
And the
appreciate
United
that.
Arrows ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some of my
990s, New
some of my
Balances.
favorites because the 990s, in my opinion, are the most comfortable, shoes that New Balance makes in terms of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of those shoes, their originals were on 997s, 975s, 998s, and the 990s to me now as a 39-year-old dad. Like I find myself wearing the 990s a lot more. So,
And you guys haven't done as much work on like the actual like 990s as far as like collaborations go, right?
yeah, the 990s for us up until now have been more of like an SMU.
Yeah,
type
you're
of-
doing
type
like
of business.
the pink ones and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and
we-
like the
we've-
navies.
We've done quite a few actually. Yeah, the gray ones that came out
Yeah.
recently, the V3s, and then
Love those.
and then the baby blue V2s. Those pink 998s and V2s that we did, and then we have the whole CL pack that we've done, and that will continue too. But on the collaborative side of things, it's like where I typically go and color block product a little bit more, and update materials a bit more. That's gonna be on different silhouettes. I'm trying to build out, and you could see this if you come to the office. You saw it.
Yeah.
You walked over to the studio. Did you see the?
I saw a lot of spicy shoes in the sneaker display at the Kith office that I don't think
Yeah.
ever released.
No, there's a lot of product that
I was
haven't
looking at
released.
it like, can I take a photo of this? And I decided not to.
You were right about that one. You were right about not taking the photo. That was a great move, I gotta say. But the New Balance, that New Balance wall,
Yeah.
all of those shoes have been released
Yeah.
on what we have in that hallway where we display
At the Kith office.
Yeah, at the Kith office, and I'm trying to really build out the catalog, because like when all is said and done, and I'm no longer here or no longer doing this, which I can't picture, but I want to be remembered for a catalog of product, and that's why silhouettes, like working through the catalog from New Balance, is so important to me because they have so many incredible silhouettes that I want to make sure I put my twist on, or I'm able to design into. So.
And I know you obviously have a close connection to New Balance, but your guy,
Yeah.
Teddy,
Yes.
Yeah.
now being at New Balance, how much has that like kind of, because I'm sure you can kind of do whatever you want, like you have carte blanche at New Balance to a certain degree, but now that he's there,
Yeah.
what's that collaboration experience like?
That just means we all win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for him, and I'm so proud of Teddy. Like, I mean, he's a unicorn, honestly. And what we're seeing him be able to do is just absolutely incredible. And I seen his first collection, and it looks. I mean, you guys are gonna see that a little bit later, but it's just.
The first Teddy Santis New Balance work.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. I mean, the way that this guy is stepping up, and he's really amazing. So I'm really happy that ended up being the case at a brand like New Balance. I think it's perfect. It's a perfect marriage, those two. So excited to see that come together.
Yeah, I think that I put it out there, but the Beef and Broccoli 993s is my personal favorite sneaker of the
You
year.
love that shoe.
Yeah.
That shoe just so awesome.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Both of those shoes I think are incredible. So he already has a great catalog with what he's done with New Balance, and I feel like it's just gonna get better.
How do you pronounce it?
How do I pronounce what?
ALD.
Emilion Dor.
Okay.
Yeah.
We always got to put the PSA out there. It's kind of an ongoing, trying to refine everybody's,
Yeah, probably my last name and then his brand name is probably the two that get
most butcher.
How frustrated do you get by people mispronouncing your?
I'm kind of used to it at this point. You know what I mean? And my wife and I, when we check into hotels, we look at whoever's gonna help us behind the desk, and we kind of take bets on like how they pronounce how they pronounce our last name. So it's funny.
Can we talk about John Turturro?
Yeah.
What a legend.
Man. What?
Rounders?
Man. Stop.
I was so happy to see John Turturro.
Any good stories from that day shooting with him?
Yeah, the conversation was so crazy. Like, he's so cool, man. He's just like...
Is he aware of the sneaker world?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Which is probably refreshing, though, right?
I loved it,
Yeah.
man. And you know what's funny? Like, he wore the New Balances on set, and he was just like, man, these are so comfortable. I was like, yo, yeah, you need... And that's, at that point, like, that's what they care about most, you know what I mean? Like, I'm already there mentally, too. Like, if the shoe's not comfortable, I'm probably not wearing it. You know, actually, I'm definitely not wearing it. You know, those days are over. So...
Yeah. So
it was great talking to him though, because we had some Queens stories. It's funny because, you know, it's you meet some of your like biggest stars, and like it's kind of surreal, just like getting to a place where you're having conversations about product, but then the product doesn't matter, the shoot doesn't matter, and you're just talking about life. You know what I mean?
And I feel like that's happening now. You've done so much, but I really feel like, and I think it's ceremonious that like in the 10th year anniversary, I feel like with Jada and Fat Joe, that's happening a lot now.
Yeah.
Like them coming to the courts and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, talk about that at this stage in the career.
Yeah, because it's not about business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, like Jada's my boy.
Yeah.
Like we talk about life, you know what I mean? And Styles, man, Styles and Chic too. Both, I mean, all three of them, the conversations that we're having are like about life. And Fat Joe, like, dude, like these are great people. And the thing is, the reason why we're such good friends is because we're cut from the same cloth, from the same era, and understand substance. You know, I was listening to a Drink Champs episode. I'm still listening to it, the Busta Rhymes episode.
So good.
It's long, but it's one of the best ones.
So good.
And when is that recent?
No,
No,
it was like maybe 6 months to a year ago. It was really good, really deep.
Yeah.
I was texting with Nori about it yesterday, being like, yo, that's my favorite episode thus far, and I haven't even heard the whole thing. And
It's
he was
great.
Like, he told me like mine is Kanye, and I was like, yeah, of course, that like the waves, forget about it. But on the Busta episode, Busta said some really smart. I mean, I knew the dude was really smart. I know him from back in the day, but I never really had combos with him or heard him in that way. And hearing him talk about the substance of the 90s and what made the things that people cared about, the artists cared about, compared to what they care about today, you know, and what they cover on their social versus like what music meant and the substance of what mattered. I think it really matters to Jada, like that era of artistry and, you know, substance in music, but also substance in anything.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we have in common. You know what I mean? So substance is such a strong word that we use internally too. It's like, we don't want the brand, the name of the brand, or the person we shoot, you know, to be the reason why product sells.
Right.
The substance needs to be in the product, you know, and that's what we focus on.
And that's one thing that I would say. Even I have convos with Austin sometimes about like talent, like, you know, and you really go to that era always. Like that is your era. You really haven't strayed that much.
I don't.
I won't.
I don't, and I won't.
Yeah.
Because that's what the brand is. The brand. That's what I'm tied to. That's what my heart's tied to. Mm-hmm. You know, some of these silhouettes that we all love today. Mm-hmm. You know, like people loving, you know, the Travis Air Max 1s or the Virgil Jordan 1s. Or whatever Air Force Ones, like, you know, or whatever Wallabies, for example, like opening up a fresh pair of construction Tims, Wallabies, Air Forces, like the feeling that gave me when I was younger, I just am trying to transfer that over with the work that I do. You know what I mean? And that's the 8th Street collection with Clark's, the craftsmanship that goes into that. You know, the upper, when you touch and feel those shoes, that's what I'm trying to bring back so people understand the value, and the perceived value is one thing, but the actual value, giving people more than what they pay for, that's paramount.
Are you ever worried that like when you do when you feature all the artists from your era, and then there's a whole, like you mentioned, like younger kids don't know the references, that there's like 16-year-old kids who may not know who like AZ or Jada are, that like you're gonna miss them with it, or
I mean, I guess that's why we have such a wide spectrum of consumer, and it really is the younger, and that's why we make kids apparel and the whole kids store, all the way to my father wears the brand and he's like 66. So, and we cover everyone in that spectrum. It's just what the brand DNA is me, and I started when I was 28. We opened the store when I was 29, but I started 11 years ago, and I grew up and matured at the company. So my taste level for product has changed too. So as I'm trying to like design for myself, I also am designing for the entry level, kid who's getting into the brand for the first time too. And it is a tact exercise of like knowing how to balance that out. And in merchandising, it becomes a little challenging, but that's what we've gotten really good at is really trying not to miss anyone on the spectrum.
It's a wide spectrum. It's a big empire.
Yeah.
You got the Tokyo store. You told me you haven't been to the Tokyo store yet, right?
Man, don't make me cry. Seriously, it's been tough.
Yeah.
Not being able to go to Tokyo has been really tough.
Yeah. When was the first time you went to Tokyo in terms of just personal or business? Because like I know we talked a lot. First time you were on this podcast a lot about how you were influenced by what people out there were doing, or seeing people from Japan come to David Z when you were working there and getting product. But when was the first time you got to go there, and what shoes were you hunting for?
I think it was about 12 years ago. My mid to late 20s. I went out there, and it blew my mind. You know what I mean? Anyone who hasn't been to Tokyo and who's in our world should make it number one on their priority list as soon as
the first time I went, it felt like an achievement just to be there, because all these shoes and all these stores that I had seen and existed only as JPEGs in my head or on the internet, being there in real life was like, oh my God, I made it.
When you get to Tokyo, it opens up like a part of your imagination. I feel like it opens up a piece of your like whole life that you wouldn't know had existed unless you go. And it goes for a lot of traveling to different, witnessing or experiencing different cultures in the world. But for Tokyo, I feel like it's so relatable to our world and what we love that it's the amplified version of what we love. It's like all of it concentrated into one city, but in the best form possible. So it's everything's so perfect there. There's no garbage on the streets. Everybody is like super, super respectful and kind.
Yeah. Vending machines.
The vending machines.
First time I went was with you, that Kith trip, which was to that point it was like you made it moment, because you're in this place and you just can't believe it, and to be with friends.
That's a whole different experience.
It was unbelievable to even just being in the hotel lobby and having breakfast and like you're in Tokyo. It was surreal.
Yeah, it really is an incredible.
Did you buy sneakers when you went there first time?
I had to buy multiple suitcases.
What'd you get
the first time? I bought a bunch of Air Forces. There were these stores back then. So you're talking about like resale platforms. You know what I'm saying? So like
2009.
Yeah, exactly. And you were going into these stores, and that was where that's where Domaney got his concept for Flight Club in New York. It's like that was happening there way before it happened here. And there were a ton of these shops, in Harajuku. You would go and like find these like gems where you'd find shoes from like the early 2000s, all DS.
Like Co-JP stuff?
Yeah, a lot of Co-JP for sure. But I'm talking about everything. And now it's like, now everybody sees everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now it's not so hard.
Yeah.
It's still difficult to find your sizes in a few things, but you were just seeing shoes that you would never see in the States. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big deal back then for me. So I was like packing up suitcases, Footscapes, Air Forces, Dunks.
Were you flat packing the boxes?
Of course.
Break down the box.
Of course, you have to. That's the only way to bring them back.
Yeah.
So I think that if people got a chance, and I really wish that for people, like for people to have the opportunity to go there, because I really do feel extremely blessed and lucky enough to have gone. It's my favorite place, and if my wife, and we always joke around and talk about it, but if my wife would live there, I'd move there for a couple of years if I could. Yeah, I'd want to live there.
That's
for sure.
amazing.
Yeah.
Little apartment.
Little spot, and and give my daughter like experience to be able to experience that early on. Timmy spent years there and speaks Japanese.
Well, Timmy, when we were on that trip,
This is 13th Witness.
yeah. Timmy, I was fortunate to move around that trip with him, and he had friends there that literally, you talk about being like the nicest people. I remember, like, and this is not a joke, like we would be with Timmy and someone who he met while living there, and it would be like, I'd be like, oh man, I'm thirsty, just like that. The guy would disappear for 3 minutes and come back with waters for everyone.
Yeah.
A milk tea or something.
Unbelievable. And Timmy lived there for years and like
Taught himself how to shoot.
Yeah.
Taught himself how to speak Japanese. First of all, Timmy's a genius.
Genius.
Straight up. Timmy's a genius. His father's a genius.
Of course.
Futura, one of my favorite artists of all time. And I feel like speaking to Timmy about his experience in Tokyo really made me love it more, to be honest. And he was telling me before we went there as a group, after I only spent a little bit of time there when I went there solo. But then hearing his experience, like I was dying to experience it with him, and then we got to go there together, and it was incredible.
Totally. It was just, it was like having like your friend as like the travel guide who was connected in this city and just like introduced so many nice people. Every restaurant we went to for lunch or dinner,
You guys get some goros? You stand in line for feathers?
No,
I didn't get.
We didn't, but I wanted to, and I still want.
Me
I still
too.
want a few pieces.
Will you stand in line?
I would if I had the time. Yeah.
So
I would love to see Ronnie Fieg.
You're not like you're like I'm Ronnie Fieg. Like let me in.
No, that's not me.
I want to see you in the
And
line
then-
for the
That's not
goros.
me.
You know, another thing-
I would stand in line for
Hell yeah.
goros.
When
Why
we
not?
went to Tokyo for the Cuddy Doc, that's on Amazon right now. We went to Kith Treats.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
Ironically, Kid Cudi was in Kith Treats 2 days ago and wants a special on the menu.
Really?
Yeah. So
Which-
just mention both of those
What's your
in the same
personal
sentence.
favorite flavor on the menu? The JLP.
The wifey. My
okay,
wife's.
that's good. That's fine.
Yeah. My wife's special is my favorite.
So can we real quick, because we have to address it. You put John in the New Balances. He said they were comfortable.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the New Balances for the book. You insisted.
Yeah, you were dead on that. It was over for you on that one.
Did you feel like you were, when you like take a kid and just throw him in the deep end for the first time? Is that like putting Joe in like
know what he said?
Air Force Ones?
I was like, first of all, I'm meeting Jim Moore for the first time, and I know who. And I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to be a prima donna at all. I was like, I just don't. And Eugene was like, oh man, sorry, yeah. And then
Listen, here's the thing. You guys put up with Joe. You guys have to put up with Joe.
But you did it on purpose?
Me,
or-
I don't need to put up with that bullshit. So I'm like, listen, man,
Yeah.
like you're gonna put these shoes on because we're all here and we're
Yes.
shooting this, and I think it looks best with the fit. And he put them on, and I didn't realize what kind of a big deal it was until
Yeah. You
after the
tweeted
fact.
it.
To be
Watershed
honest,
moment.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know, and I didn't realize how big of a deal it was to Joe until after. Because at first he was like, I don't wear white sneakers. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Put
it
these
wasn't a
shits
thing
on,
in
man.
your head.
You know what I mean?
he just went like this. No, it's time. It's time. And that was it. Yeah.
But it really is a thing. Joe doesn't wear white sneakers.
It's true.
Yeah.
One time only, and
What a moment.
So all those white sneakers that I've given you in the
I have
past,
them.
man, I better see them shits. So
I have them. I have them. I
On
have
display.
them. I have all of them.
All right, good.
Ronnie, how come you never done a Reebok shoe? I feel like you.
Was
you,
that like was that?
That was like the craziest transition I've ever
What was
heard.
you
that?
want to
Like,
transition?
what was that, man?
I'll do a transition if you. I feel we're just hanging out.
Yeah,
No,
that's why I love
life.
you're,
That's why I love-
you're right. You're right.
How come you never
just
done a
off the
Reebok
top of
show?
he's freestyling right now. This is off the top of his dome. Like, hey, why don't you like?
You've done
I-
a shoe with every brand.
Not every
Almost.
brand, but look, I'm a footwear like I'm a footwear guy. Like I'm not only into athletic footwear. I came from the brown shoe and boot business way before I got into athletics. The story about the Gel Lyte 3 about me wanting a pair of pumps
Yep.
and
Yeah.
my mom coming out with a pair of 3s. I've had love for Reeboks, and I love their history. They have a crazy archive.
What's the
You know,
butt
so
coming? I'm trying to
no.
figure it out.
There's no but. It just hasn't. That relationship. That a lot of my work has been based off of relationships that I have with the brands, and not necessarily the brand itself, but the people that work there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I've had like strong connections with people who have been passionate about the brand they represent and work for. And Reebok has had some turnover over the years.
Yep.
And back when I was at David Z, I built a relationship with someone who was there. I won't say his name. And we started working on a project, and it didn't materialize. And there was some, back and forth after that. And
I see.
And it didn't work out. But to say, I love the brand. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a very rich heritage, and we carry the brand in the shops. So I got love for them.
I mean, can you picture a Kith Insta Pump?
Not an Insta.
Like an Insta Fury, like a
That could
like
be
a
cool
Pump Fury,
maybe for
you mean?
Japan.
Yeah, there's some good silhouettes there, but you guys don't decide that. So.
Yeah, you got to pay us if you want consulting help.
I want to
Yeah.
ask you this just because
I might take you up on that.
I want to ask you this because when I've talked to you like on the side about it, you always give interesting answers. What do you think the sneaker of the year is this year? Do you have one?
Is it on your feet?
Not including yours because
No, not including mine. And to be honest with you, I don't think I have a sneaker of the year. I think that the foam posits are up there.
The
CDG
CDGs,
foams?
yeah,
Yeah.
they are. They really are.
Why?
Did Tyler Mansour's the photo of him?
Shout out Tyler.
He looked like a Tekken character in the Issei Miyake pants, spinning around with the CDG foams. Did that sell you on it?
You know what? Yes.
All right.
Yes.
100% credit to him.
Because I already got the black ones beforehand.
Me too.
But Tyler shots did sell me on the white pair.
Yeah. All right.
And I bought the white pair after I saw what Tyler did with them. So to be honest with you, yes.
Are you doing the same fit?
No. But to be honest, I loved what Tyler did there. And by the way, shout out to Tyler.
Always.
Yes.
The best.
Yeah.
Great guy.
The GOAT.
Yeah.
Let's get to him, his personality. And he's the greatest footwear photographer in the history of our business.
Whoa.
We
Wow.
might need a footwear news
No, I love.
award for
I mean,
that.
I love that.
That is the
I
thing
love
is,
that
it
praise.
would be a wow if you could give me a second best. I don't
love
even
that
think there's a
praise.
second best.
And shouts to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The greatest ever. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, shout out to him because he and I just had a long conversation the other day. We reminisced about how he first started in the game, and I'm really proud of him.
He was always, even on the trips, like back in the day, he was just like in the background, like just kind of quiet, I would say.
Yeah.
And now to see his progression.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit because he does have a unique perspective on what he likes, and his sense of individuality is key because you don't see that a lot these days. Like a lot of people are, they're just all Simons. I get that bar you'll hear that bar later on a Jada something.
Wow.
But
Stump button.
They all copy one
Sure.
another, and Tyler, he has his own taste, his own taste for things, and that's important.
We can tell by the pants.
No, but can
No,
we talk,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He
No,
looks
no,
good.
no. Hear me out for a second. Let's
Okay.
talk about that for a second because I think that's important to me. How do you feel about people's sense of individuality today? Do you think that it exists? Do you think it's lacking? Do you think people when they like certain products or
I do
wear
think
certain
it's
products?
a little lacking. I feel like a lot of people.
He always says like, sorry, Don.
I always because I feel.
I didn't mean to
No.
interrupt, but
By
he
all
always
means.
says like, I think you kind of get not turned off, but I don't want to speak for you, like by the Instagram shoes. Is that fair to say?
I think the issue is that, and I don't want to sound like complaining or whatever, and I'm like not out here to try to be like an oddball person, where just like I just like weird and random shit.
You're wearing
like
the Bass Pro
yes.
Shop T-shirt right
Okay.
now.
Anyways,
I like that.
but it's not like in sneaker culture or whatever you want to call it, there's like this perception that you have to wear like these like 5 shoes or else like for some reason you're not validated as like a sneaker person
Right.
in the space, and it's like I just don't wear basketball shoes. You know what I mean? Like
I feel you, man.
It's like I've always worn like running shoes or like suede shoes, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm in
there's
the middle.
people out there who are like, oh, you're not qualified to talk on sneakers because you don't wear Air Jordan 3s. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's terrible. That's the thing is like I feel like I really want your opinion on this, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I already know how Joe and I feel. I
Yeah.
just got a little bit from Matt. I want to know how you feel about, people really conforming to what they see, or do they?
I think they do. I think there's I think there's a lot of taste that's dictated by mood boards on Instagram and things like that. Archival images and the same handful of like almost like characters. It's like you just pick out of 5 different archetypes, right? And you just go with that.
It's multiple choice, basically.
Right, exactly.
Instead of people like, because I come from the era where people come into the store and try on 10 pairs of shoes because they've never seen any of them before. They walk up to a wall, they're like, what's new? Tell me what,
I wish we could get that back. I know we all contributed to this thing where everything is online, so we're very guilty, but I wish I could go to a sneaker store and be like, oh my God, I've never seen that before.
And that's,
maybe Tokyo.
Yeah, well, that's early days in Tokyo, not now.
Not now.
You know what I'm saying? Now everything is, the world's become so small, but that's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know what I love? I love when some of these OGs, like Ghostface, for example, like he probably isn't on Instagram all day, like looking at, and he might see things for the first time, like maybe it came out today. He might see it for the first time. He didn't see it for the last 3 weeks as people were being seated and
it's
whatnot.
like a genuine reaction to
genuine reaction.
That's
like
your moment.
It's like we had Paul Middleman on the show, and he told us about the first time he saw Air Max 95s in the window and had never seen that shoe before, and was just like, oh my
pulled
God.
over almost, right?
Yeah, jumped out of a cab in New York and just ran into the Foot Locker.
That's why I missed the days when I was a stock boy. When I was in the stock room, I had one-on-one with product. I was one-on-one with product in 95, from 95 to 97. Even before I made it up to the floor where I was seeing him merchandised and styled, I was getting in all this product and opening boxes.
Dude,
and just
that's
seeing
such a
things for
crazy
the first
feeling
time.
when you're working at a sneaker store and you get a shipment, you don't know what's in the shipment, and cracking it open and opening the shoebox for the first time and like actually evaluating the model that you're seeing in hand, whether I like it or not.
That's why I'm here now, because my love. Imagine that being the first like era of your career.
Foundation.
The foundation of your career. Seeing all of these and different boxes. Like I was getting Clarkson, like I'll never forget the original Wallaby box made in England, like opening it up and imagine seeing a Wallaby for the first time. How crazy of a feeling that it's like, what is this thing? It's like,
this isn't a sneaker. Like,
it's not a sneaker. It's not a shoe. It's like the weirdest but amazing looking product. And that's the kind of alone time. And I've had to have my own opinion on product before anybody told me anything about the product. I've had to form my own opinion, and that comes with your own taste. So I think that's where the passion has come from. It hasn't come from mood boards. It hasn't come from references. It's come from seeing product, in real life and seeing it for the first time. I don't know if we'll ever get back to it, but I feel like seeing that vinyl, for example, having the resurgence of vinyl, and
LeBron James just bought the record player.
Yep.
And record players getting into analog, I feel like there will be an anti-social media movement at some point.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that, Joe?
I don't even post that much. You don't
post that much, but you're on your phone many hours a day, as we've confirmed on the show.
Don't make me check your
screen time, right?
Check your screen time right now.
Ronnie, can we talk about the car? Because we haven't spoken about that
Yeah.
yet.
Do you know that someone's trying to resell it?
Yeah, I know a bunch of people.
PG had posted one for like 180,000.
Do you know PG?
Really? No, I don't know, but I think I've gotten shoes from him before.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has.
Yeah, but the car. We need to talk about the Kith BMW.
Let's talk about it.
How the hell do you get to design your own car?
So Kith is not we're not a sneaker store. You know what I'm saying? And footwear. And footwear is where I've come from, and it's what I'm most passionate about. But Kith has obviously grown into, more than just footwear. We have our own apparel brand. It's a lifestyle brand, and we tell stories. And that's one of the most important aspects of the business is storytelling. And BMW wanted to work on, in the very beginning, they wanted to work on an apparel collection, and I met with them and told them, not really interested if it's not tied to the vehicle, because
it doesn't move me.
Literally,
it doesn't do much for me. You know what I mean? And there's a long story about my passion for BMW from when I was a kid. My grandfather had a white 2-door and inspired me crazy. I had BMW posters on my wall. The M3 was a poster on my wall growing up. So I was tied to that car, and the story of the new M4 that was coming out and then my love for the M3 and that bridge and evolution from the M3 or the E30 to the new M4 was a good story. So sat down with one of the marketing directors at the brand. Shout out to Toby and shout out to Christophe. Those are my guys out there. And we had a conversation about, what we can work on. And the story became so incredible that on their side, they're like, okay, like we want to launch the M4 to the market, like their own M4. We want to launch it first through your lens, meaning through my lens of a Kith designed M4.
And now people are reselling it.
Yeah. I mean, look, selling 150 cars in 11 minutes.
That's crazy.
Did people have bots to buy the cars?
No, I don't think so. I hope not. I hope not. Autobots.
I feel like you would have been the
Transformer.
I feel like you would have been the sort of guy to get like BMW to like retro the 850 or something like that.
So I'm in the process of building an 850 right now, but the 850 CSI is that's my second favorite BMW.
It's like the ultimate like rap like name drop car like in the 90s.
Crazy. It was on the cover of Street Dreams. The Street Dreams single. Nas had that car, and he actually used to pull up to David Z with that car. So that was like the pinnacle, V12 850 CSI. That was a crazy car. So they have a lot of those in the archive. The M1, designed by Lamborghini, like. That was a really crazy vehicle. So, I have a ton of love. I'm as passionate about vintage BMWs. I own 6.
You ever crash a car?
Yeah, I got into a.
We were talking about car crashes before you came on.
I got into a car accident in 2000 actually, and messed up my knee pretty bad. Had surgery. And I used to be able to dunk a tennis ball.
Damn, not anymore because of.
I don't know if that's a flex or not.
It derailed your aspirations for.
You got to tell the story through a shoe.
I was on my
you gotta
way.
Do like your first collaboration with Reebok could be like a D Brown that you do in like a tennis ball colorway.
Anyway, I could reach the net now.
That's good. Smack backboard on the layup.
Maybe the bottom of the backboard.
One thing during the pandemic.
Got a jump shot though. Don't get it twisted. All right, keep going.
Mid-range. You're a mid-range jumper type of guy.
Were you doing a lot of Air Force Ones on Nike ID during the pandemic?
Hell yeah.
How many pairs were you doing? Was it just like for fun or what?
Why do you know this? Did I tell you?
I think so, yeah.
I made like 30 pairs.
And what? Talk like.
I love the quality of the made by you Air Forces when they were allowing people to. Are they still? I don't even know. I haven't checked in a while.
Who do you think does better ones though? You or Tyler?
He does do some nice ones too.
Tyler does different. I don't color block mine the way Tyler does. I was more. Well, I did. I made an Italy pair.
Yeah.
I made a.
Will you send us the Italy pair to post or no? In this?
If I still have, I think
Mr.
I still have
Italy
them.
right here.
I think I still have them. I made a USA pair and I made an Italy pair. But those were some of my favorite SBs. So like.
Right.
I love that colorway. But I was mostly making white uppers with colored swooshes and off-white soles, and I did every combination that I could have with that,
Very early 2000s feel.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I gave a bunch of them to my nephews, but I have some of them, white with yellow swooshes and off-white soles. I mean, that's white royal, white navy, white red, white green.
Listen. When I was in the Kith office, based on some of the stuff I saw, he wasn't just making them on Nike ID.
Uh-oh.
He wasn't just. He was taking it a little further.
That's similar to taking a picture of what you're doing right now.
A little bit of dry snitching.
Yeah, it's I had fun working, and I think that you could go back and see it. But we worked on a few Air Force Ones for the fashion show. That never came out. That was a play off of what we did with the first Friends and Family Air Force.
Right.
So that's what you saw there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that.
So, you mentioned Jada many times during this episode. You're friends with Cam.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Cam.
Sorry to interrupt. He pointed at me when you said Jada. So.
Oh.
Okay. The
Not my
worst,
best.
Ronnie. The worst
Not my best,
one.
but you pointed it. You
Every
pointed.
time I'm gonna point, but it's the best. It's the best
I'm
and the
sorry.
worst one.
I don't want to derail us. I don't want to interrupt you.
I
He
have
pointed
to,
at
every
me, so
single
he
one.
queued me up.
You
So.
had mentioned
Gotcha,
Jada.
gotcha.
I know you're friends
had to.
with Cam. You did the whole Dipset thing
Yes.
in MSG.
Yeah.
The versus battle. Did you ever think that you wanted to like outfit them for?
Cam and Nori were both wearing Kith during the Drink Champs episode, and that Cam episode is legendary.
For sure.
Legendary episode. So I was really happy to see them wearing that because those are both my idols. Like, crazy, like growing up on Nori, that's one of my favorite albums of all time. That's a top 5 album for me. Not top 5 greatest albums ever made.
War Report?
Nori, N-O-R-E.
Okay, yeah.
Right, so that album raised me. And by the way, Cam and Nori's album came out the same time. They were competing when Confessions of Fire came out. That was one of the best eras in hip hop in my life. So seeing both of them wear the product during that episode was crazy to me. You know what I mean? So and they're really good friends of mine. They become good friends of mine. Like Cam and I talk and just chop it up, randomly. And Nori and I, we become friends over the last couple of years. So it's incredible. And did I want to outfit them for the verses? I think we spoke about it, and I didn't have product. I didn't have the next season or next season's collection in time to do that.
Damn, that would have been a moment too.
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely could have been a moment. I mean, who knew that it would have turned into what it did? Wow. I mean, we knew it would have been big, but what it turned into, I mean, that was a crazy moment for hip hop. I think it's going to be a notch in the timeline for a long time,
Absolutely.
I also love that, to that point, Jada, and I think the locks went to like JD Sports before to like get fit sneakers, and I just loved it. It was like it took you back to like you have a big thing going on, you have to get fresh. I just love that.
And that's what it's about, right? Like what it turned into is something completely different, but that's what it's always been about. Like you got something to go to, you get fresh, and you go to the person who takes care of you. You know, you go to the store that takes care of you. And those guys shop at the store all the time, and Joel's, I mean, all of them. Jim Jones, my guy, like he was there last week when we did the preview for the fall winter collection. He came up and said, "What's up?" And I speak to Joel's all the time. I mean, these are guys that like that had a crazy amount of influence on my life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So being able to like chop it up with them and talk to them I don't take that for granted.
Did you ever Dipset chain?
Would I or did I?
Did you?
No, I didn't.
But Jim had those winterized Timberlands. I remember. Remember that shoot?
Of course. That was like in 2010, 11. I'm not even sure what year, but bringing the fur-lined construction boots in. That was like, I was the first one to do that. That's a beginning of an era for Timberland too. Like where that's gonna go and where I'm gonna take that with them. That'll be exciting. So, yeah, I mean, that MSG moment with Dipset was crazy.
That freestyle.
We have something in common though. That's
with them.
No, not
MSG?
with them. Not with them, but just a follow up to that.
LOX.
A follow up to that. That's going to be really, really exciting.
Soon.
Yeah, really soon. Really soon. Next month.
Okay.
You ever hang out in Stratham, New Hampshire?
Say again?
You ever hang out in Stratham, New Hampshire? With you speaking Timberland?
Yeah, I went to New Hampshire to work on Timberlands. Yeah.
Oh. It's a town I grew up in. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So I
that's
think
cool.
it's just weird that it's like a town that no one else has been to, but it's just.
I was there years ago though. I haven't been there recently. This was like 7-8 years ago. And shout out to Andy Friedman. Also, do you guys know him?
No.
Yeah. Timberland.
Yeah.
Did his name come up when you visited the town?
No.
There was no bust, no statue.
I saw a statue that looked like you. I don't know if it was
you want to give us what's high on the TripAdvisor list?
No, it's my mom worked there for 15 years, like at the corporate headquarters, and she has like a little children's boot that has like 10 years of service or whatever.
That's
like,
awesome.
Sitting in the basement, like just.
That's amazing.
Stuff.
Wait, she still works there?
No. She like had got laid off when VF Corp bought the company and everything shifted, but yeah.
Great to see Andy and Timberland and what they're doing. They're staying true to who they are. Like DNA hasn't changed much, but I think it's going to get better there in terms of the product that you're going to see. They got some things cooking, so I'm excited to see that continue to grow.
So these and the leatherbacks Black Friday.
Black Friday.
And then what do we have soon after that coming?
So we're gonna kick off. Holiday season Monday.
This Monday?
Yeah. So does that mean yesterday? When does this air?
This
Friday.
That means
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, that means in 2 days.
weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Oh no. Sorry.
Hello.
No, this
No.
airs on Friday.
So
2 days. 2 days from now.
We have a crazy holiday schedule because you know what we did last year for Kithmas. We
Yeah.
opened up that pop up. Mm-hmm. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
What we did with Lucky Charms and
Yes.
the whole. So that's going to turn into something much bigger for the company and the brand, in trying to like really embrace the holiday season. So we're going to kick it off with Hanukkah because Hanukkah comes early this year. Mm-hmm. So we'll start with Hanukkah and lead into Christmas. And we have a crazy like calendar. There'll be a layout of a calendar that comes soon. But if you've seen the book, then you know what's coming. Mm-hmm. A couple of great things coming, like the Monopoly board. That's insane.
Right.
Insane.
What's Boardwalk on the Monopoly board?
So the properties are streets where our stores are.
Okay.
So Avenue Montaigne and Champs-Élysées are Boardwalk and Park Place.
Gotcha.
So is there like an unveiling of like a new Kith store via the streets that are on the Monopoly board?
No, but
I don't know. That'd be a flex.
Interesting. Yeah, that would have been a flex actually.
Get this guy in Kith
Yeah,
marketing.
you know what I mean? Like, I know someone. The Monopoly board, but also like if you saw the book, then you know we have something coming with Star Wars.
Yes.
Which is going to be incredible. And the Kithmas collection and what that's going to embody this year is going to be crazy. And then what we're doing with the Knicks this year is going to be crazy. So like the rest of this year is
We've got the jersey, right?
Yeah. I was trying to get you guys jerseys for today.
That would have been good.
It would have been good, but also I just went to a Nets thing last night and I got a Nets jersey.
I'm sorry. What?
He's a big Nets fan.
Turn this guy's mic off. Yo, what we got?
I just didn't want to, I feel like I'd be fraudulent if I had.
Listen, I hear you, but not really. You know what I mean? But I tried to get you guys Knicks jerseys, and she asked me for the address here, and I actually forgot to text her. This
I
morning.
played at the Garden once.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Welty and I both played at the Garden.
No
Did
way.
you actually play in that game?
Yeah, I did. I benched myself after 2 minutes, but we did. There are photos of both of us playing at Madison Square
What was
Garden.
the stat line?
Wow.
Very Tony Snell-like.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I benched myself. I knew that for the sake of the team,
Yeah,
it was
you
better.
had
if-
to.
You're a real team
for-
player.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you start coaching from the sideline, or I could picture
I
you
didn't
doing
have
that?
too much input on
I could picture you'd be a really good like dad coach.
You think?
I feel like yeah.
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 X's and O's.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. For sure. But the Knicks season is ramping up.
Yep.
My guys are playing really well. We won last night. That was a great game, by the way, against the Pacers.
Yes. Exciting.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good season.
All right, listen, we can't thank you enough. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming.
And thanks for the shoes.
Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
shoes.
Brought back
Thanks for the
gifts.
gifts.
Of
Kithmas
course.
started early.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
right. That's right.
This has been the Complex Sneakers Podcast. Everyone have a great weekend. Like and subscribe.